know it's silly life, but I don't want to smoke it.
We need to find shelter.
Ahoy! All right, now we got these twist ties. Apparently, they help with the attachment of the flag to the. Oh, there's 3 more. Who wants one? Hello, Amsterdam! Welcome to the Global Marijuana March. Gather around and we're going to talk about strategy here. How we keep safe, how we keep the dealers safe as they sell as we go along the street. Stuff like that. You flags lying on the ground.
He's got nothing.
Every flag must be hoisted. Now, how we protect dealers is something called hug power. How many people have heard of hug power before?
Hug power!
Raise your hand if you've heard of hug power. How many people here are prepared to get busted today for standing up for pot growing and pot dealing and pot using rights? All right, all we need are a few huggers. What happens is, if you see somebody getting busted on a pot protest day for a pot offense, you go up to them and you give them a hug and you don't let go.
Let go!
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you gotta hug your way to freedom. This is super important. And there's also a lot of people in jail who should not be in jail. They should be let free immediately. They're harmless and they're helpful people. And with that, I give you the Princess of Pot.
Marijuana prohibition causes far more harm to users and to society at large than marijuana the plant ever could. Even though our society is filled with legal substances and activities that people engage in every day, we do not put them in prison. But the pot people, the cannabis users, the sick and the dying who use medical marijuana for relief and for peace, they are persecuted, they are targeted, they are outcast, they are arrested and imprisoned, their freedom taken, their children taken, their jobs taken, their rights to be free are stripped from them, not because of marijuana, but because of marijuana prohibition and the war on drugs. If you are even a taxpayer who never smoked and never saw marijuana in your life, you are paying millions of dollars collectively for drug law enforcement. Legalize it! Legalize it! Legalize it!
Wonderful to be here today and see this beautiful sun shining down on all these Canadian flags that are flying. That always makes me very, very happy. And you know, I've been working in this field for over 20 years with many others trying to make these laws change, and really for the first time I feel like we're on the cusp of decriminalizing and then legalizing marijuana right here in British Columbia. And you know, by this time next year, you're going to be able to drive down to Washington State and walk into a really nice establishment and say, I'd like to buy some marijuana, please. And they will sell you some wonderful Washington-grown marijuana. We should be able to do that right here in British Columbia. And the way we're going to do that is with the Sensible BC campaign. And we've actually written a law called the Sensible Policing Act, and this law, it does 4 very reasonable things, I think. This law, the first thing it does is it makes all the police in British Columbia stop spending any time or money on searching or arresting marijuana users. In the U.S., you need to
join with Sensible BC, as Dana just said, so that we can do what they're doing in the U.S. The U.S. is going state by state with a recalcitrant federal government that won't do anything, and so that's what we need to do here in Canada. First BC, then Alberta, and so on. Each province across the country, just as they're doing in the U.S. So sign up with Sensible BC.
Amsterdam, great march today. All right, I just need, is anybody here a pot dealer? Right here. Any pot dealers?
Thanks a lot, David. Malmo-Levine, one of the hardest working activists in Vancouver. Thanks to you folks for all showing up today. Know that you've joined hundreds of cities around the world today to protest these laws. It's not just a small band of people here in Vancouver, but it is worldwide, and you should be very proud to stand up today in Vancouver and ask for what you believe is right. Because that's what we're doing here today. I'll remind you that on Canada Day, July 1st, we'll be doing it all again at the Art Gallery. We got a huge stage, lots of activities lined up, and an open farmers market. Cannabis Day, don't forget that. So yeah, stick around. It's not too short of a time. David will be rewarding us and changing our perspective. So those of you on the periphery of this parade, come on and join us. We're going to be smoking joints up here at 420.